Hello everybody, it's Joe here, and welcome to this evening's live stream. And tonight I am playing for you F1 24 for my Equal Car Championship. Within this video we will have a sprint race and a full feature race around Spa, 44 laps for the Grand Prix. No qualifying, as you know, all cars are unequal. I am going to quickly do a few laps, just practice, just to get a feel for the track. And yeah, so this is just a very quick practice session. Let's get straight out there, let's get a couple of laps done before we head into the main event itself. The last instalment of this series was the Brazilian race, which again I'm so sorry was split into two parts. Like I said, there was something that I needed to deal with in the middle of that. Fortunately, no such dramas tonight. I am full focus ahead for tonight's action. So, there are a few topics of discussion that I want to discuss through the course of this stream, and I will get into them as the stream unfolds. So over the next couple of hours I will be getting into the topics I want to discuss. But first off, I just want a little rant about a show called I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. Get Dean out the jungle. Man is so incapable for this show. Like, I don't understand, right, why you would go on a show that you're clearly not equipped or able to cope with the challenges of. I mean, I guess obviously there's the money involved in that, but surely when you sign up for a show you should know what you're in for. And yeah, embarrassing. But anyway, that's my rant over. Let's get into the thick of F1. Let's get into F1 related topics. And we obviously have, oh god, that's not the line there. We have a big race weekend coming up. It is the Las Vegas Grand Prix. It's that time of year where Europeans cry about the time of the night all the sessions are, followed by the Australian fans making fun of the British fans for being such squinnies. Right, what's my first lap time? I don't really think it matters because I'm only doing this one lap. I think I've got to grips with this. I just want to get on with the racing. But we will discuss more about the upcoming Las Vegas Grand Prix, including predictions that I have for the race weekend. So let's get into this then. So it's Wednesday night. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all looking after yourselves, and I hope you're all having a fantastic week. If not, tell me about it. I'll be your agony uncle for the night.
However, we'll be back
oh god damn, look at how fast Zhou Guanyu was there. So we've got 15 laps of a sprint and 44 of a feature. We're driving 59 laps around here in total.
Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Russell, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Hamilton, Stroll, Sargent, Kobayashi, Ocon, Gasly, the owner driver, Hülkenberg, Albon, Bottas, Joe, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid.
Okay.
I know you're frustrated to be this far back on the grid, but you've got to keep that under control. Keep a cool head and work your way through the field gradually as you go. It's not all going to be won or lost at the first corner.
No, it is not. This is one of those circuits where you can lose it all very quickly on the opening lap. So you've just got to not fully commit to anything rash in turn one, which is what I look like I've done here. But actually, this might work for me. That's not worked for me because Sargent just squeezed me there. But I actually think we're up in position, so that's sort of worked, but sort of hasn't. Who's that going side by side into Eau Rouge? I can't exactly see who that was. First lap up the hill heading towards Les Combes. Up the Kemnel Straight. Are we going to be able to have a look at Ocon here? No. That move is just not on. Oh, they're backing up a bit though. I wonder, oh, why are they backing up so much? Oh, thanks for that, Stroll. Oh, got damage already. Cannot be doing this. This is the second sprint in a row I've got damage early in the race. And unfortunately now I think that is really going to hurt me. I'm going to try and carry on with the damage, but I think that's really going to hurt any potential progress forward. They all just backed up so much there. And I was trying to just slip round the outside. We've already got a yellow flag. Oh, I've got off the circuit. Oh, someone's had a moment there. I'd love to see who's had it. No, we've... Cheers for that. What the hell? They're all just getting a hit in while I'm off. Man, this is nuts. Okay. So we've got no... a damaged front wing. I don't know if it is worth pitting in at this stage. I might just do it. I might just pit in and go on a set of mediums at the top. That honestly, the grip just feels, for some corners it feels fine, and for others it does not. I think we'll stick with it for now, but oh, they're all backing up again. They all back up so much inexplicably there. We managed to make a dive bomb and get up 2 places. This is not an example of my best driving here. Gasly's trying to get past me in Eau Rouge. That's not going to be happening.
For a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres. So try to get past.
I mean, I'm also going to be looking out for understeer because I've got a damaged wing. But hey ho. Right, P15. It's lap 2. We've had drama because someone had a spin and I didn't see who it was. And of course, I've got front wing damage. So all kinds of things kicking off in the early stages of this sprint race.
Easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
Yeah, cheers for that. I wasn't overly sure at first, but you know, I'm glad you could share your thoughts on it with me. Heading round Poumon for the first time. This is going to be a long, long sprint, especially when in the faster sections we just don't have as much front end turning as we'd like, and it's really costing me. Look at this. Look, I've got a whole train of cars behind me here, and I can't do anything about that. I'd love to be able to try and shake them off, but with the level of grip I have, that's just not happening. And one of them's having a look down the inside. I'm not having that. That's not how you take that. Verstappen sets the fastest lap. He is predictably gone. That's Lance Stroll having a look at Logan Sargent. Someone's had a big lock-up going into turn 1. I would have liked to have had a better run there, but it didn't happen. The problem is now it's going to be very difficult to keep Pierre Gasly and co behind. But everyone's kind of backing up in front. It's not like they're all that much quicker. I mean, I'm struggling with damage for sure, but it's not really impacting me as much as I thought it would. And one thing I am hoping for is that we do get a safety car here at some point in the next few laps that will help us out. Otherwise, we're just by ourselves here, and Stroll and Sargent are just disappearing away from me because they have the advantage of a car that is not damaged like mine. Unless the damage is not affecting me and this is just our pace, which it very well could be. Like, I do partly think maybe this is just our pace. But we'll see. We'll see when we get into the main race and hopefully not take this level of damage. Gasly's going down the inside there. I'm not going to be able to stop him. I'll try and keep him round the outside!
Win that place back.
That's terrifying, going wheel to wheel there. And Lando Norris setting a fastest lap of the race, so hopefully somebody is giving Verstappen a challenge out there. Unfortunately, it's not me.
Teammate ahead of us, 4.8 seconds.
There's a big gap between me and my teammate. I'm really hoping for a safety car. I genuinely hope we get some kind of safety car in this race. Because otherwise I'm just dropping back. It's not easy to charge the battery round here either. At least not without losing some pretty major pace.
And gap to the car in front, 3.0 seconds.
At this stage, I would be so thankful for a safety car or even a red. I just don't have any grip. I don't have any thing to fight with here. The wing is damaged. It's lap 4 of 15. Oh, my personal best is a 48.6. And I'm understeering like a bitch, so I do wonder, is there more pace in this car? I mean, at this stage, I think I may as well pit, because I'm only holding these guys up anyway.
Caution.
Oh, hello. Hello, we've got drama here. Carlos Sainz is out. That might cue a safety car, so we're going to use that opportunity to pit in. Don't know why I got respawned there, but Sainz is out. I don't think we're going to get the safety car, but it's worth preempting it. At the very least, it gets me off, gets this tattered front wing off, and I can get a new one on and work out what my pace is.
Okay, go, go, go. Perfect job on the turn in there, mate. Looks like a nice stop time. We're happy with that one. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
Alright, well, let's chat Las Vegas predictions then, because I'm at the back, I'm by myself, and it's probably going to be that way for a while, so let's chat Las Vegas predictions. First off, I think Max Verstappen is going to seal it here. I think he's going to seal his 4th title, and that will be that. I can't see. I can't see anything really stopping him now. Like, he's got 62 points coming into this race. At least I believe that's what the gap is. Don't quote me on it, because I can't fully remember. But he has got a bigger gap coming into this race, and it's going to be a really tall order, I think, now for McLaren to do anything to get Lando in contention for the driver's title. I think Max is going to seal it. I genuinely think he's going to seal it. Lando is going to have to pull something special out of the bag, I feel, this weekend, just to keep him in contention. So that's one prediction I have. Secondly, biggest, let's think of a decent surprise, a surprise package of the weekend, like someone you don't expect to do well. I actually think Franco Colapinto. I think Franco Colapinto's going to have something of a redemption weekend here. He's going to come back and grab a couple of points. I think we're going to see some Colapinto redemption after Brazil. First driver to DNF. Let's go with that next. I'm going to be honest, and a lot of people aren't going to like this, but I think Lando Norris. I think he had that crash last season, and I think I just feel like the pressure of trying to stay in the title is going to get to him, and he's going to make another mistake, and I think that's going to be him out of championship contention. So I think Lando Norris first DNF. Pole position. Pole position, I'm going to go with Charles Leclerc. He had pole last year, and we all know he's something of a qualifying specialist. So, yeah, I think we'll go Charles Leclerc for pole position. Race win. I'm actually going to go the other way with this. I think Carlos Sainz. I think Carlos Sainz will ultimately find something in the race and take the win. I think your top three will be Sainz, Leclerc, Verstappen. A lot of you probably thinking, what about Piastri? I just don't really see him factoring in. Well, I'm sorry this isn't an overly interesting race for you. We took front wing damage to begin with. Sainz then broke down by the pit exit. So I thought, I don't know, maybe it would trigger a safety car. It has done no such thing, however, so... While it would have been great if it had, it is what it is. And I think we're in for a bit of a lonely run now until the end of this sprint race. I was trying to go around the outside because so many of them were backed up and it just didn't work out that way. But we have 44 laps of a feature race ahead of us. And this is one of my favourite tracks to drive, so I'm confident that maybe we can pull something back in it. I think it transpires that it was Esteban Ocon that had that spin earlier. We are catching them, but we're not catching them by much. So it makes it difficult to figure out what our actual pace is. I'm also trying hard not to use too much of these curbs because you use too much of them and you're in the gravel. Like, I'm so used to instinctually from previous F1 games abusing the curbs around here, and on this one you can't do it. You try and abuse the curbs, you get put in the gravel, spun, and then put in a wall. So I'm having to give the curbs something of a wide berth here. I'm really not going to catch anyone by the end of this race. In fact, now I'm in the 47th. I'm still catching them all ahead by about a second a lap, which would be great if there were 20 laps left in this race. There are not. There are 8. And they're going to feel very long laps here. There's going to be about another 15 minutes. Really hoping for a safety car here. If anything, just to make the racing a bit more interesting.
Okay, gap ahead, 19.1.
But this is great for me because I can dial myself into the circuit a bit more, ready for the Grand Prix. We're still catching Esteban Ocon just by a little bit though. This is not by much. And that's an example of what happens when you abuse the curbs. The car stepping out on me there. Gasly has really had a nightmare race so far. He was actually around about where I was, around P15, and now he's fallen to the back. So Gasly, I don't know what's happened to him. Maybe he took a little bit of damage as well, but his pace is like mine. It's absolutely nowhere. Another thing I expect, I'm interested to hear in F1 wise, where does Franco Colapinto go? I know that James Vowles has been in talks with Red Bull, but my thing here would surely be, if I was Red Bull, like if I was Christian Horner, and I had James Vowles approaching me about Franco Colapinto, in my mind I'd think, well, you're the one that really wants him on the grid, right? So here's a deal. How about you take Colapinto, give us Carlos Sainz? It is a bit of an insult that Sainz does not have a front-running seat for next season. And, you know, if it's a choice between Franco Colapinto or a proven race winner, and I'm not saying this out of doubt of Franco Colapinto's ability, because I believe he has the ability to go far, but I'm thinking I'd want to go with the proven race winner. You know, I'd want to go with the driver that has won races, and in doing so has beaten Charles Leclerc. Now, I'm a Leclerc fan, so I may be biased, but in my mind, he is one of the fastest on the grid, if not the fastest, in terms of raw pace. I mean, when it comes to racecraft, I wouldn't say he's the best now on the grid, but I think in terms of raw pace, he's up there with Max. But the fact that Sainz doesn't have that seat, so that's what I'd do if I were Red Bull. I'd be like, right, give us Sainz, you can have Colapinto. Why should we take a risk on a driver that hasn't won any races over someone like Carlos who has? And before anyone says, well, maybe by that logic they should keep Perez, don't make me laugh. Perez has been an absolute disaster this year, and in my mind he has done far worse than what Gasly and Albon did at Red Bull. They didn't have such good cars to drive. Yeah, Albon managed to get a podium out of it, and I feel like Gasly would have done better if he was given more than half a season. I feel like Gasly was starting to show improvement.
15.4 seconds.
But at the same time, I feel like Gasly needed that to happen in terms for him to unlock the driver we all know he is and unlock that performance out of him, because since he was fired from Red Bull, honestly, Gasly has performed at another level. But I'd still say that Perez has done worse than what Gasly and Albon did there. And I feel like he just hasn't really shown that he deserves to keep his seat. Like, in my mind, there's nothing that Perez has done this season to prove that he should keep his seat. He had a great qualifying in Spa this season, as you remember, but then he just dropped down behind literally everybody in the top few teams. And his race was just a disaster. So, I don't know. Why are Red Bull giving Perez so many chances? This is what I don't get. Look at De Vries as well. He's another driver given half a season, dropped out. Ricciardo given a season, the vast majority of a season, dropped out for underperforming. So why, oh why, is Perez getting so many chances here? This is something I simply do not understand and cannot for the life of me see the justification for. And I know I'm just an armchair expert, like, what do I know, blah blah blah. But come on. I don't see any reason to keep Perez, I really don't. Well, at least I filled up a few laps chatting about F1 and giving some opinions. We've still got 4.5 laps to go. Unfortunately, I don't think the safety car is going to come out and save our race here, but I'm having fun. Oh, yeah, that's not how you do that. I don't even think we're catching the cars in front anymore. This is really worrying for my race pace because I haven't caught Zhou in the last few laps, so I really do worry about what our race pace is going to be, and I'm thinking about a different strategy for the Grand Prix, so I'm thinking away here, but we've not caught Zhou in a good couple of laps now, so come to think of it, we haven't brought the gap down to Ocon particularly either, so I do think we're going to be lucky if we scrape points out of the Grand Prix itself. I might need to lower this difficulty. I've currently got it at, I think it was 98, but I think I need to put it down to 95. I think it's just a little too quick for me. We'll see how the race goes, but at the moment it just seems that my overall pace just isn't there. It would help if I stopped clipping the gravel though. But I think that might just be frustration. These sprint races, even though they're sprint races, they feel long when you've not seen another car in God knows how long. It just feels long. We're also gonna have to look at better management for, I think, for the battery in the feature race. We've actually caught Zhou by a second this lap, so I'm not too disheartened by that. I think we've had a better lap this time. As long as we're going about a second quicker than him, we should be looking good for maybe a couple of points in this race. It's going to be a difficult one. I'm thinking of trying a one-stopper. I know in 100% races the AI tends to do the two-stopper, with some going for a 3, but I'm thinking a 2 might be a good way to go. A 2, a 1 might be a good way to go. We've got 3 laps to go here, and Zhou and Ocon are having their own battle. We've got a yellow flag ahead. Please say someone's had a big moment. It's not even going to trigger a safety car at this stage, but it could gain us some positions. I'm trying to see who... That's Pierre Gasly, but his pace was shocking at this stage, so that explains that. Gasly's been nursing a problem for a few laps that has become terminal, so that much is clear. Ocon, meanwhile, he's pulling clear as well, so it's not been good, has it? It's not been a good sprint. And considering we've only got 8 points on the board, not the greatest start to the season. Oh, sorry, we've got 9 points on the board. I forgot I got fastest lap in that race. How are these tyres doing? Two laps to go.
Okay, gap to the car ahead.
And I'm not catching Zhou anymore, so I am quite worried about the pace, and I feel like we are going to have to try something a bit different with the strategy to make it work. But this is a track where dramatic things can happen, so keeping an open mind. As if Zhou just pulled 4 tenths on me on the straight. That'll be the DRS. But even here, look, he's so clear of my pace right now. We're barely matching it. I don't think we're getting points from this race. If this is what our pace looks like, I don't think we're going to bring points home from it. But this is just a sprint. We've got the feature ahead. And we got one more lap of this sprint before I can finally kiss goodbye to it. And this is our pace. We're genuinely quite slow. I'll be amazed if we're in the top 10 by the end of the race. I'll genuinely be amazed.
Okay, you just started the final lap of the race. Final lap.
Final lap here at Spa. It's not been great. In fact, look, they're pulling away from me now. I am going to leave the difficulty as it is for the race. But if we struggle that much, I am going to lower it to by a couple of ticks just to give us a better chance, because this isn't what I want to be doing. I don't want to be pottering around by myself, just losing time. Lando Norris wins the sprint race then. Well done, Lando. A nice drive there. And finally this slice of misery comes to an end. I'm not even sad to see that end.
Okay, pick up rubber.
I'm glad it's over. P20. Fernando Alonso is driver of the day. Well done, Fernando. So your race winner, sprint winner there, Lando Norris, Verstappen second, Piastri third, Leclerc fourth, Alonso, Perez, Russell and Hamilton, your final point scorers, and Kobayashi getting into the top 10. That's impressive. Right. Focus up now. Sprint's over. It's time for the main event. The one, the only, the Belgian Grand Prix. I am just going to quickly look at the difficulty and some of the settings. Okay, so the difficulty is on 96.
Eau Rouge, Radion, the bus stop chicane. Iconic turn names and an iconic circuit. History lives here at Spa-Francorchamps at the Belgium Grand Prix. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Oscar Piastri completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Russell, Sonoda, Ricciardo, Hamilton, Stroll, Sargent, Kobayashi, Ocon, Gasly, the owner driver, Hulkenberg, Albon, Bottas, Joe, and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. And striding into our commentary box to...
Right, first things first, let's have a look at... Oh.
Just focus on the race ahead. We can still do a good job here today.
Oh, okay, so this is expected to be a one-stop race. I mean, I will take some of the fuel out the car because that is ridiculous. And that, I think, won't help the pace. If needs be, I can lift and coast at some point. But I'm taking out some of the excess fuel because I don't think we're going to quite need that much. Right, it's going to be a one-stop race anyway. 44 laps, and the Belgian Grand Prix is go. And it's a decent start. I'm going to try this time and just be a little more cautious into one. Oh, is there space there? Yes, there is. And that's a better run through turn one for us here. We're still in P16, but I'm alongside two cars going into Eau Rouge. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. How did we not all crash? We went 3 wide through Eau Rouge, and we all came out unscathed. That... Oh, my goodness me. I think my heart rate is through the roof right now. But we're in P14 and everybody's backing up here because they're going 3 wide again. I'm going to try and not hit anybody though and just stay back and let this all sort itself out. Try and go around the outside. Someone's trying to nip me through the inside. It's Esteban Ocon, but I'm just going to keep Ocon behind. Yeah, we've kept Ocon behind. Although Ocon's having another go into Poumon, but it's not going to happen. Lap 1 of 44. And right behind Lewis Hamilton. So, good start. Genuinely a better start than I would have hoped for as we come up to end this first lap. I was hoping that it'd be mostly a 2-stop race because then we could try medium hard. But if soft medium's going to work, then who am I to criticise as we now head towards Blanchimont for the first time. And we have made our way up to 14th place. So we are up positions. This is good. This is positive. And I'm hoping we can carry on with the positives here. I am going to chance it down the inside of Hamilton, though. Hamilton's given me room, but it's just not happened. And Hamilton, well, we're not able to get past him here. But I'm going to have another look. Where do I go? I'm going... Oh, mate. Where are you going, Lewis? Oh my God. I was trying so hard to avoid Lewis there because I was going to the left. He moves to the left. I go to the right and then he comes across on me under braking. What am I supposed to do with that? What am I supposed to do? Oh, God's sake. Is this really going to be another race where I'm just pottering around at the back? If it is, fuck this. I ain't doing 44 laps of what we had in the sprint. If I'm not going to catch anyone, I'm just going to retire the car and just say fuck this because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. That was ridiculous. What was I meant to do? I went to the outside. He moved to the line, and then I go to the inside, and suddenly he's moving on me under brakes, and I'm having to take avoiding action. Like, what's that about? Where else was I meant to go there? I'm genuinely annoyed at that. I'm genuinely very annoyed. We had such a positive start to the race and that's how it goes. I mean, there's a long way to go. It's lap 2 of 44. We've got a long race ahead, but it just makes you not want to bother, really, doesn't it? It just makes you want to say, right, nah, to hell with this. Well, the problem is now is that it's like Brazil. We're in a DRS train trying to advance, and no matter how much quicker we are, we're just not advancing. Yeah, it's all well and good setting the purple first sector, but if we can't clear Zhou, what can we do? We're going to have a chance here. Zhou goes to the inside. I'm going to try and go round the outside of him here, and hopefully we can make a run into No Name corner. That's what we've done. We have got the move done. It wasn't the most convincing of overtakes, but we are ahead of him, thankfully. And now we can close in on Magnussen, who is 1.2 ahead. I'm at a bit of a loss for that lap 1 incident, and we will review it at the end. It's a key moment in this race. I just don't see how that was my fault, and I don't see what more I could have done to avoid that, because I was going to go around the outside, he moved left, so I then moved right to avoid him, and then he moves right under braking, and there's literally nothing I could do there, so I had to sort of throw it in the inside, commit, and then, well, he turns in on me anyway, so all I wanted to do there was avoid him. All I wanted to do was avoid him. Right, I'm going to try and just let Magnussen know I'm there. Again, it is just a case of I literally don't know what more I could have done to avoid that collision. Now catching Kevin Magnussen. I'm close enough to think about it. I'm actually just going to go for it. This stage of the race, we've got nothing to lose, and actually, I get the move done, so we're up to P19 now, so we're moving up.
Nice work, mate.
And if I can keep picking off one a lap, I'll tell you what, that'd be great. But I don't think we're going to keep picking them off at that rate all race. Next up is Alex Albon, P18. I mean, any progress is good progress. We just want to keep making that progress through the race. Going to use this section of track here, just charge the battery a bit, because I'm losing a little bit of battery power towards the end of the lap, and you know, around this section everyone's backing each other up anyway, so if I can use just a little bit here, let's get down to like 17, then hold it and wait for an attack in one, because again I think they're all going to back up. Then again, if they get further away from me, I'm a little bit screwed. But that's not happening. Look, we do catch back up. Another lap complete. I have to be careful there. I really thought I was going straight into the back of him. We're going to try and get Albon here. I think we should be able to do this. Don't think about it, mate. Don't even think about it. I'm not in the mood. Right, brake. Down the inside. Another place gained. Up into P18 now. I think the key thing here is just to try and stay calm. It's so easy to just lose your cool because it's all kind of gone a bit wrong. And I'm starting to calm down now and just get my head down and just get into the thick of this race. Like, yeah, okay, we had a thing on that. We had a thing at the beginning. It happens. Get your head down and get on with it. We've got 40 laps left to get on with it, including the one we're on. Let's make something of this Grand Prix. Don't forget, when we did the Equal Car season last time out here, I actually walled it coming in for my pit stop, so I ended up not finishing last time out. Let's hope for a different result this time. And Albon's sticking with me like glue, but I feel like if I really wanted to, if I get clear of this lot, I can pull into the distance. I think I might have to just chance a little later braking on Bottas here, but we're going to get that done. Yes! Up another place. Let's go. So this is the sort of progress we want to be making. It's steady, but it's still progress. I tell you what, if we get close enough, I might be able to take Gasly here. I'm not really close enough to sort of confidently try it, so just backing out there for now. But I don't know. We're not going to be able to set that one up for no name. I would say, right, let's try going round the outside and then set it up for no name, but that wouldn't work. I mean, we've passed the car this lap anyway, so we're already sort of fulfilling the quota on that one. Damn, turning down the battery really does make you lose straight line speed here. I'm just trying to save what I can of it. It's not very easy to do. So we got 3 more cars in this little train, and then we're clear of it. So if I can just get these 3 cars, we're going to be clear. One of them is Logan Sargent, and they actually seem to gain quite a bit round here, but then we gain back in this final sector. I really was a bit worried with my braking there, as Sainz sets the fastest lap of the race.
Right, a gap to the teammate ahead of us, 4.2 seconds.
And Kobayashi's 4 seconds ahead. So Kobayashi, I think he's having a decent race here at the moment.
The car behind by 5/10 a lap.
Right, so we're now half a second ahead of Bottas, and I feel like this is our best chance to get Gasly. Pick another car off. Like I said, at the moment we seem to be doing it at the rate of 1 every lap, and I think if we can carry on that rate, it looks good. But Gasly's going quite defensive here. Might be quite hard to pull this one off, but Gasly not able to keep us behind, and that's another place gain. So happy for that one.
Nice move.
And Hulkenberg is the car in 14th. And once we get clear of him, hopefully, touch wood, we can start thinking about some of the cars in front. And maybe even thinking about how we can use strategy to gain places later. This has actually been quite a positive. I mean, we're now a place ahead of where we started the Grand Prix to begin with, so we're pretty much back where we were. And I'm not going to lie, we're not looking too shabby here, but I don't want to be dipping a wheel in the gravel again. Our middle sector time isn't going to be great. Oh god, bit of too much excessive weaving there. I tell you what, I don't know, I'm fancying a go at Sargent, but at the same time, I'm not. I did think about it, but I just don't think that would have worked. I think that would have been a move that just would have ended one way and ended my race. But I tell you what, the cars up ahead are starting to get into this group now, so if that happens, that's quite good for me, because it means there's more cars to pick off. And that's what we're doing at the moment. We're just picking them off as and when we can. Right, here's Sargent. And the good news for us here is Hulkenberg. Oh, but Sargent's going for it. That's not going to help me here. No, I've got to kind of retreat from this one, because Sargent is going for it. Okay, no, there is an opening. Oh, there is an opening. All right, down the inside of Hulkenberg. And we make it work up into P14. I knew we just had to do that one right. That one required a bit of bravery, but we forced our way through. Nice move there. Up into P14. Right, now we can start thinking about some of the cars in front, but we are going to have to defend these for a while before we can even think about catching the cars in front. And actually at the moment we're not catching anything, we're actually struggling to make anything on them, but that's because I've turned the battery down. I don't really want to be defending from the guys behind me here. I need to get attacking, but the problem is their trainers got further ahead, so I could be defending these guys and losing time doing it, which is what we don't want to do. I just want to get straight towards the cars in front, and we do gain about 2, maybe 3 tenths of a second there. And actually if I can get clear of Hulkenberg, that'll help me too. Round the source. I really want to get clear of Hulkenberg. I do not want to keep this Haas in my rear, but at the same time it's going to be difficult to get clear of him. I don't have much battery I can use either. Ricciardo's getting close to Ocon, as Kobayashi then that is leading that pack.
The car ahead by 2.9 seconds.
And we get our first warning for track limits, so we want to be careful. Not overly careful, mind, but just want to be making sure that we're not taking the P with it and putting ourselves in a vulnerable position. Problem is they're pulling away as well though. We might be stuck here for a while because look, they're pulling away in sector 2 and we just don't have an answer for that. I want to be catching, but we're just not catching. Going to use some of the battery just to try and get a bit more clear of Nico Hulkenberg. Although he's getting clear of Logan Sargent, so that's good news for me. But look, the guys in front are back up to 3.2. We're not really making anything on them here. We're just sort of staying put. I need more pace, because right now this isn't enough as we head on to lap 10 of 44. I'm just trying to break free of Hulkenberg again, but it's just not happening. And is that a yellow flag ahead? No, it isn't. We haven't actually seen any yellow flags yet. I think the only one we've had is the one I called for going into Hamilton. So no real dramas yet in this race, as it were. We're now 6 tenths clear of Hulkenberg. I'm just trying to find a little bit of extra pace as and where we can, but that line round there does not help anything. That's a mistake. And again, look, the guys in front, 2.7, that's going to go back up to 3.2 by the end of the sector, and we will have gained just literally nothing. Although it's 2.6 here, so I'm hoping that we find enough pace on this straight that we don't lose out. But they get a good slipstream round here, and the problem is they've got good straight line speed. Look, 3 seconds, 3.1. That's going to go to 3.2 surely. So we're not gaining. Bottom line is we're not gaining. We're matching. Oh, that wasn't the best run through there. Right, Sargent's lost DRS, so that's good news for us at this stage. Sargent has lost DRS. That means the only thing we got to worry about now is Hulkenberg. But surely even him, DRS has got to run out soon. But either way, Sargent now is out of DRS. Is out of Hulkenberg's DRS, so it's going to be hard for him. We need to get back up to this pack. We have to catch up. I wonder if an early stop to mediums would help. I'm genuinely thinking of an undercut here. Like, we're due in on lap 20, so I'm thinking 17, maybe 18. Try and undercut as many as possible. It's been a better lap this time. I genuinely feel better about the lap we've had. But I didn't until we did that. We are just edging towards them. It's slow progress, but we are just about edging towards them. But the one downside we have is Hulkenberg is closer this time. And if we lose time fighting Hulkenberg, we can kiss goodbye to any chance of catching them in the immediate future, and Hulkenberg's having a look. Although, to be fair, we haven't really had to deviate that much from our line. But that has cost us time. So yeah, I'm definitely thinking, let's try an undercut, let's try something a little bit different and see how that plays out for us. I might actually even be earlier and think lap 15. I'm not even sure one stopping is the way to go here. I'm not overly sure that one stopping is the correct way to go. It's going to be a long old Grand Prix to try that one. So we've got a decent gap to Sargent, but Hulkenberg is still coming with me. I wonder if he's waiting for an opportunity on these guys, but he's further back this time, which is good news for us. We haven't really brought Hulkenberg along as closely as the last lap. That last lap was genuinely quite worrying.
Okay, we're only 2 seconds behind the car ahead. Keep pushing.
I would like to lower the difficulty for future races. I think Gasly and Sargent are battling. And we're starting to catch this pack now, so they're starting to fight a bit more intensely, and that's bringing me into play. Either that or I've just found some pace from somewhere, I don't know. It's not the easiest circuit to find a rhythm on, and I'm having to sort of relearn it because, like I said, I'm used to attacking the curbs on the previous games, and I'm not able to do that here. It's such a stagnant part of the race, but the curse of Equal Car Championship. And if you start on the back foot, you're on the back foot for the race. I genuinely think an undercut could genuinely jump us up a good few positions. But then we got the problem of our tyres are going to feel like absolute arse near the end. So it begs a hypothetical thought. But we've finally caught this train of cars here now. And we're finally part of their train. It's a 3-car train. And in fact, Perez is battling Ricciardo. That's backing them up. I think Ocon, well, they're going to be backed up here. This gives me an opportunity now to just, as soon as they're a bit backed up, let's use that, save battery. They're going to be going a little bit slower. But also the fact that we're within the DRS range means that we're also, it makes us a little bit safer from potential Hulkenberg attack. So the downside is though I'm starting to lose grip from being in this train of cars. I feel like I'd be higher if it wasn't for Lewis Hamilton's antics at the beginning of the race. But we can't get bogged down by hypotheticals. Just got to get on with what we have. Well, okay. That makes things interesting moving forwards. We have some cars in the pits. Right, okay. So there are going to be some doing the 2-stop here. What are our tyres on? I feel good to carry on. In fact, I feel even better because now we've got to run on Daniel Ricciardo. But that has certainly added a twist to the race. Now my question is, are they 2-stopping or are they 1? And meanwhile, we're now having a look at Daniel Ricciardo. He's going defensive, but we're going to just have that one, aren't we? No, we're not. Ricciardo's come back at us. Fair move, Danny. Fair move. And okay, Daniel, that's how you want to play it. Ricciardo's having none of it. I used up my overtake too early then and got too eager. And Ricciardo getting feisty at me. But I tell you what, the face of this race has now changed. Knowing that there are 2 stoppers in this one. Ooh, that's interesting now. That does change things here. And that might change my approach. Ricciardo definitely looks like he's struggling for grip. Now my question is, are they going on hards to the end? Or are they taking softs for another short stint? I don't know, but I tell you what I do know. I'm sensing an attack on Daniel Ricciardo here. I'm sensing an attack on Daniel Ricciardo here. I'm making an attack on Daniel Ricciardo here. And we've got the place on Daniel Ricciardo. And I'm not going to let him come back at us this time. If anything, he can busy himself with Hulkenberg. Right, upper place. Next up now is Kobayashi. I'm just going to stick with our strategy, but I'm going to pit in maybe a couple of laps earlier. Lap 18. Go for mediums. Go to the end. Let's see what we can do. That definitely does make things interesting, doesn't it? That has just added a new factor into this race now. As Kobayashi and Tsunoda are having a battle.
Okay, keep an eye on that gap ahead, please. 4.4 seconds.
So this race, the face of this race then has just completely changed. I don't want to be doing that. That was a mistake. Luckily, I think we've only lost a tenth in doing that. But like I said, it's just added a new variable into this Grand Prix now. And what it has done is put me into the points. So I'm actually feeling pretty pleased with where we're at the time being. But the one thing I don't want to do now is pit in. Oh, bloody hell. Right, okay. So we are losing grip now. We are starting to lose a little bit of grip. But I don't want to pit in, come out, be in traffic, and then before we know it, we're losing that time again. So I cannot be doing that. Ricciardo's going to be all over me here. This is not what I want. Brake late. And again, the line is not ideal. But we managed to get ourselves a good few tenths clear. Yeah, like I said, I really hope we don't pit in and then there's an absolute bunch of traffic. Russell sets the fastest lap of the race so far then. So he's one of the two stoppers and their lap times are so fast. But again, they're going to have to pit again. And we're making one stop in this race. I'm trying to catch up with Kobayashi and Tsunoda, and the cars ahead of them are battling quite close as well. Right, okay, I've decided what I'm doing. I'm pitting on lap 19. I don't want to try an overly risky undercut because I feel the pace is there, and I don't want to compromise that by pitting in too early and then having no tyre grip. So this is what we're going with for now.
Grip is probably dropping due to wear, so don't be too aggressive.
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware of the wear. I thought that was much funnier than it actually was. We are actually gaining on those in front as well, so the pace is not too shabby. Kobayashi is all over Tsunoda though. That's one thing that's very clear. Kobayashi is all over him and he's not giving up on this one.
You're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Okay, so gap to the
Right,
car
so we're
ahead,
pitting in a couple of
3.1
laps.
seconds.
And I'm hoping that my undercut will get me clear of these two. Ocon sets the fastest lap of the race now. So he's another one that I feel like pitted early. Magnussen again setting a fastest lap of the race. So it's clear that going on a fresh set of tyres is giving you a grip advantage. It's really fascinating how this is playing out. And we're catching these about half a second a lap, so we're going along all right. I think lap 19 is a good lap to pit. And we're going to take on mediums and go to the end. Unless we get something dramatic and a late safety car. By which means, if that happens, I'm switching tyres and just going all out attack for the end. So there's my race plan at the moment. I'm happy with doing what we're doing. That's a little bit of a dip on the wheel to the gravel there. Not what I really wanted to do. But the grip is just no longer existent. Like the traction is just not as existent now as once it was. And it's, yeah, we're struggling a little bit now. So we're pitting next lap. Ricciardo is right behind me. Oh, this feels horrible. It genuinely feels awful. box this lap.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
So I'm making it clear that I have had enough of these tyres, and I'm boxing at the end of this lap. I tell you what, the undercut around here is going to be ridiculous, I reckon. Been a bit of a slow burner this Grand Prix, but I tell you what, strategy-wise, it's getting very interesting, isn't it? It's getting very interesting to see how this is all going to shake out. Like, some races are excellent, some are strategy races. This is very much the latter. This is a strategy race here, and this is one that could get very interesting, so you want to stick this one out right into the pits. And you know what, I'm so glad we're in the pits, because these tyres genuinely feel horrific.
Okay, mate, that's it. Go, go,
Right,
go.
so it looks
Perfect
like
job from you and the
I'm
crew
going to
there,
come
mate.
out
Delighted with that. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit.
just
We'll
behind
receive a penalty for
Hamilton.
dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
Oh, there's quite a bit of traffic there as well. But there's also a load of two stoppers there, so that's going to make this quite interesting now. I'm going to use this lap to just get the tyres up to temperature. No real massive attack. I'm just hoping I can undercut Tsunoda. He's my target. And wow, the difference is... Oh my god, the difference. You really do feel it when you've been on a set of tyres that feel like absolute arse. The sudden feel of having grippy tyres! Ooh, okay, that one sent my heart rate up a bit. I genuinely thought I was going straight for a spin there. Pushing quite hard. We're actually matching Hamilton, which is good. I mean, I was matching him.
Okay, so all of our tyre pressure data is currently reading 0. Assuming they still look inflated to you, I'm going to guess that it's just a bad sensor. Shouldn't be anything to worry about.
I mean, they look inflated to me. They do look inflated to me. Right, how many of this batch are pitting? Just one. 1 sec, guys. Apologies for that, we're back in the race. I was just taking a brief pause so I could have a drink of my water. It's important to stay hydrated, and we're stuck behind Lewis Hamilton here. Right, who's that? So we have undercut Tsunoda quite nicely. But we got a load of cars that are mixed up here. This could get quite interesting, because some of these are 2 stoppers, some of these are 1 stoppers, and everybody's now going to get caught up with each other. We're now having a look at Lewis Hamilton. Oh, I'm not going to try it there, because Hamilton is right up Kevin Magnussen. Of course, any risks could put me in with damage, and I actually think we're in quite a good position right now. Right, this is something I could try. No, Hamilton's got that covered. Right, so this is the kind of pack that I did not want to be in. And actually, this could really make my whole race come undone here. Oh, Hamilton's defending. So, whoa! Sargent's gone straight off there. I mean, that helps. Logan Sargent locked off and just went straight off. That might be a yellow, that might be a safety car. And at this stage of the race, that would not help me. But it also really would not help the two stoppers. Right, Kobayashi's in the pits. How many of these are going to pit at the end of this lap? I don't know, but I'm going to have a go at Hamilton. This is deja vu, isn't it? Oh my god, it's exactly the same as what happened earlier. Although this time I'm keeping the inside of La Source. No, look, okay, you're going to go to the inside. Right, I'm going to take the outside this time. And this time you're going to get schooled in how to drive. Round the outside of Hamilton. Place gained. And we also do complete the undercut on our teammate Kamui Kobayashi. Right, next up is Magnussen. And I tell you what, this phase of the race, we've got two stoppers mixed with the one stoppers. It's quite thrilling, isn't it? Now Magnussen is trying to get past Bottas. I tell you what, that would have left me... Oh, this is going to back me up here. Right. Don't. Right, here we go. Chance. I'm not going to be able to get them both, but I might be able to get Bottas. Which we do. We do get Bottas. I wasn't going to try and get both of them there because that would have been a race ender. But we have got past Valtteri Bottas. And now we can apply some pressure to the Haas of Kevin Magnussen, who I think is one of the two stoppers in this Grand Prix. And there are some one stoppers that are up behind some slower two stoppers now that we could catch up with. So what's going to happen in this race? This is getting interesting and I'm loving every minute of it. Now we're getting closer to Kevin Magnussen. I've got a toe. I've really got a toe on the Haas. And I'm not going to waste it. I think we're going to go for it here. Where's Kevin going? He's going to the inside. So we're going to stick to the racing line. School him round the outside. Miss our braking spot slightly. But still complete the move. And chef's kiss. Up another place. This is what we want. This is what we want to see. Great racing action here at Spa. It was a slow burner to begin with, but now we're seeing some great wheel-to-wheel action here at Spa-Francorchamps. Next up is Perez, who is up the back of Fernando Alonso. I tell you what, when these guys come back at us at the end, it's going to get interesting. And I'm wondering now, when are the two stoppers going to make their pit stops? We've caught up with Carlos Sainz. So Sainz is only 3.5 seconds away. And you know what? Suddenly, we're not looking too shabby in this Grand Prix right now. There are places to be gained. And we're catching them because the two stoppers are very much mixed up with the one stoppers. And they're all battling each other. And while they're doing that, I've got some beautiful clear track now. Where I can just stretch my legs a bit. And start pulling away and doing what we can. So this is not over by any stretch yet. This is just getting interesting. And I think it's going to be in the... Whoa! In the next couple of laps, we're going to see the two stoppers make their stops. They made their first stop about lap 15. So I think we can expect the second round of stops to be around lap 30. And we've just got to hope and pray that this medium tyre sticks it out till the end as we head round the bus stop to end another lap here at Spa. And we've set a fastest lap of the race, but they're all battling other cars. Look, we've just caught up to this. We've had like a lap of free air, and that brings us right to this battle now. This is great racing here. We've got clear of Magnussen and Bottas. Hamilton, who's two-stopping, he needs to get clear of those guys, and he's just not doing it. It's just not working for him, and it's also not working for... I think there's a Red Bull car amongst there. I think that might be Yuki Tsunoda. It's not working for him either. We've undercut him. Perez is just genuinely slow at this stage. And we've got Alonso up the rear of Sainz, who also does not seem too quick. We've got Stroll up the road as well, who's backing cars up. I said it would be a slow burner, but we're at the good stage. And Perez genuinely does not seem happy with his car for whatever reason. And I think we can actually just do that. So for whatever reason, Perez is not happy with his car. Could it be that the soft tyres are starting to go off again? And I think anyone who's on softs right now is just not going to be having a good time. Right now, it's us on the mediums that are having the better time. But when we get towards the end of this race, it's going to be those on the new mediums that are coming back at us that are going to be having the better time of things. End of another lap.
A second a lap on the car behind. Really good stuff.
And look at this train of cars we're approaching now. And I think that's Lance Stroll heading them all. We've got pretty clear of Perez, so I'm not entirely worried about him down the Kemmel Straight. I mean, he'll probably try getting closer, but I can't see him being a threat for actually overtaking. Meanwhile, I think someone's having a go at Stroll. That's going to back them all up. Oh, I genuinely can't wait to drive these next 18 laps. I genuinely can't wait. This is going to be fun. If you're watching, stick around. This is going to be a cracking end to this Grand Prix. And look at the traffic now that we're approaching. I want to get clear of these as soon as possible. It seems like nobody that's in front of us right now is happy on their tyres. And we're just going along quite nicely. There's two Ferraris there in the mix. I can see an Alpine, I think, is in there as well. Oh, I'm having to make sure I'm not smashing into Alonso, but my God, they're so slow. We set a fastest lap. It's worth a look up the inside of Alonso here. Oh, you know what? I'm going for Sainz as well. Can we get Sainz as well? I think we can. Oh, we're going to have to get on overtake to it. We're going side by side into Eau Rouge. Oh, I don't want to do this. No, we're going to let Sainz go there. And we're going to do it on the Kemmel Straight. I didn't want to let Sainz go there, but that was the right call. And now Sainz is going to go defensive. We're going to get him here. I wanted to try it into Eau Rouge, but that would not have worked. Sweeping around the outside of Sainz, gaining the position, and now Sainz has dropped back, and he can be Alonso's problem once again. Right, back on the rear of Charles Leclerc. And it's Stroll and Ocon that are backing this pack up. And they're not really, the drivers in front, behind them, are not really making any kind of impression on them. Leclerc and Piastri are just not doing it. Oh, Stroll is so slow. He's really holding this lot up. I think Leclerc and Piastri in particular are just wanting to get on with it, but they can't. I'm going to use up a bit more because I think we can have a go at Leclerc. I think we can have a go at Leclerc. I'm not sure. It's going to be a bit brave on the brakes if we're going to do it. Well, we've definitely tried it, and we've got past him. Yeah! I mean, I feel like we needed to try that. I feel like it just had to be done. Otherwise, we'd just be getting ourselves stuck. Leclerc having a half think about it in La Source, but it didn't happen for him. It's Piastri now. He's thinking about going after Ocon, and Ocon's going to be thinking about going after Stroll. This is quite an intense battle as So many cars joining this fight now. And there's them three. Piastri's taking the outside. Piastri himself, I think, is just a little bit stuck. Oh, a little look at Piastri. Oh, can we pull this off? Can we pull this off? Oh, no, we can't. It was worth a try. But Oscar's showing me he's showing me the outside of the track there, saying, hey, Joe, you think you're going to try that one, mate? Here's the gravel. Have a good look at it, because that's where you're going to go. That's the worst Aussie accent I've ever done. Never doing that again. And now we're getting back on the... Oh, I tell you what, we're looking good for it down the inside. Oh, is that under yellow? Am I going to be asked to give that place up? I think we might get away with that. Alonso's out of the race. I think we just about get away with that one. That's quite controversial, but I think we were just in the green. The game's certainly not giving me any prompt or any indication that I need to give the place back, so I think we're just about okay on that one. I don't know, that's a grey area, that. One thing I am doing is not wasting time getting past Sir Lancelot here. And we've got that move done. I want to try and get this done on Ocon soon. And then maybe try and get a couple of seconds to these guys. And Russell and Norris are having a battle. Ocon is right there. Are we going to be able to get this done? Of course we are. Was there any doubt, really? Right, now we can break free. We're free! That was actually quite a fun little battle, though, I'm not going to lie. Really enjoyed making my way through those cars, but now what I want to try and do is get a gap and then settle down for the end of this race, because I think we can finish it and we can make this our finishing position here. And if we can keep P4, I think Russell actually has to pit again, so if we can, we're looking potentially here at a podium. That, for me, that'd be enough. We put these tyres on 9 laps ago, what are they on? They're going to be fine, they're going to last. We are catching George Russell. It's Norris second and Verstappen first. But they're quite a way forwards, and Russell pits at the end of the lap then. And so do the other cars. Right, so this has worked out then with me in P3, which is great for now. But now we see what the pace of the other cars is in relation to us. I think Piastri might have more problems from Leclerc behind. We're actually bringing the gap down on Lando Norris just a little bit, but that's wide. And Piastri and Leclerc are indeed having their own little scrap, but we went wide there, made a mistake that's cost us a tenth or two. We've got 16 laps to go in this Belgian Grand Prix. Now we just wait and see when the rest of the two stoppers start coming back at us. But for now, we have got a bit of a break. I feel like the biggest battle is going to be for third between me and the guys behind, because I've no doubt they're going to catch. This is a great chance for me to sort of assess what the pace is, and it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. Like, we're not particularly fast, but at the same time, we're round about what they're doing. I think the battle behind me might... I'm hoping that they get busy battling each other, and that just leaves me alone. So 7.8 to Norris again. So the gap to Norris is definitely staying the same, I think. But I do think if we get a safety car towards the end, it is worth pitting. Lewis Hamilton then bringing that Mercedes in. What a miserable day it's been for him. Although there is that part of me that does just sit here and think self-inflicted at the beginning of the race. But if we hadn't had that incident with Lewis, where would we be? I feel like we would have been right there with Lando Norris and Piastri and Leclerc. They're battling now, which is great news for me, because it means I can stretch away from that battle. That was a bit late under brakes, but we'll get away with that. But yeah, they're battling each other now, so that's music to my ears as far as I'm concerned. They can have fun with each other, and I can just try and drive my own race to the end now. I don't think we're going to be able to catch Norris and Verstappen without a safety car or some kind of intervention. And to be honest with you, we're pretty much just matching them rather than besting their pace. So I think knocking the difficulty down to 94 would be the right thing to do. Knocking it down 2 and giving us chances to go after big results. But you know what? After the sprint race, seeing our pace there, I genuinely didn't think that we would be around the top 3. I genuinely didn't think. Well, I didn't even think we'd be in the top 10. I didn't think we'd be fighting for points. I really thought we were going to struggle to get anywhere near the points. And actually, at the moment, this is working out as a potential podium. Obviously, there's still 14 laps of the race to go. There's still about a sprint race distance worth of this race to go. But it's looking good. And like I said, Leclerc and Piastri behind seem more interested in racing each other than they do catching. So I think we're pretty... As long as we don't do a stupid boo-boo and throw the car in the wall or something, I genuinely think we're looking good for P3. I do think the two-stoppers are going to start catching that group. How long it takes the two-stoppers to pass them, though, will determine, really, whether they get back to us. So I don't think we're entirely out of the woods from the two-stoppers, but I don't feel like the pressure really is coming from Leclerc, Piastri and co. I think those guys, they've got their own race, and I think we're about a tenth or two every lap faster than them. So the gap is up to 4 seconds now. It was about 2.5 seconds a few laps ago, so I think we are a couple of tenths faster and just about enough faster to keep that gap growing. We're matching Verstappen and Norris, who we seem to be hovering around 17 seconds behind Verstappen and around 7.7 behind Norris. So the gaps are all pretty stagnant in that respect. And my question is now, if the two stops do get past the guys behind, it might make things interesting for us near the end of the race, but it all depends on how quickly they take to get past, because if they don't get past by, say, lap 40-41, I'd say we're safe. And Leclerc and Piastri have just lost between them another second, so I don't know what's gone on there, but I tell you what, if they keep losing time at that rate, I would actually be safe to make another pit stop myself, come in for tyres, go for fastest lap, and still come out ahead of those guys. So they want to be careful, because I could genuinely do that. Of course, I wouldn't want to do it without 20 seconds gap, but they keep losing time like that, it could happen. And also the safety car window, I guess, would be about 15 seconds. So I am sort of thinking about that as well while I'm pushing along. And just thinking, look, that sort of... if I can create that sort of deficit, if we do get a safety car, that doesn't put us in too bad a position. But I can see on the map now that they are starting... there are drivers that are not too far away from them. And Sainz is now battling with Leclerc. So Leclerc's had a moment somewhere. Leclerc's actually had a big moment somewhere because Sainz has got past him at the bus stop. So I think Leclerc's had a moment and Sainz has gone through. But now Piastri's got clear of Sainz. So that's an additional twist now that I didn't anticipate for. Is Piastri, now that he's on his own, going to have the pace? That's something to watch. We'll see at the end of this lap. It was 5.6 seconds. So let's put that as a... remember that, 5.6, and we'll review it at the end of the lap. Oh, Piastri's lost quite a bit of time there. He's down to 6 behind, so yeah, okay. Piastri's pace on his own, not a huge concern. Sainz is catching him. We found 4 tenths in sector 1. But again, I'm just keeping that 5.6 in my head. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, we were catching Norris a bit there. That's cost us about 4 tenths. So, if we take that mistake out of the equation, yeah, we're still going quicker than Piastri anyway. So, Piastri really, at this stage, not a threat. But there's still 11 laps to go. And the gap to Norris and Verstappen is around the same. But that lap, we were starting to catch Norris, so... but I think we just demanded a little too much there. And again, just overcooking it into the sauce just a little bit. And that's helped Piastri gain again, so... need to be a bit more careful than that. Can't afford any more of those mistakes. Sainz might have a go at Piastri here, I reckon. He's closing in. Sainz is the one variable here. I feel like if Sainz gets clear of Piastri, Sainz could very well come after us. Problem is, he's losing a lot of time getting past, and in fact, Piastri's lost quite a bit of time in that battle now, so it's now 6.5 seconds the gap. So in that last lap, really, he's lost a second. And if we take away the, let's say, half a second, the combined of those mistakes, we'd be 7 seconds clear of him by now, so... and in fact, that was mistake 3 there. Ten laps to go here at Spa. The gap to Piastri, 6.6 seconds, so I dare say we're pretty safe in terms of Piastri. And we're not really catching Norris and Verstappen. They're now lapping about a tenth or two faster, so I think they're covered in first and second. And I feel like as long as we don't get any two-stoppers getting ahead of Piastri, Sainz and Co. too soon, I'd say the top 3 for now are looking pretty locked in.
16.2 seconds.
Obviously the one variable that could change that is the safety car. And look at this, Piastri and Sainz battling. They're really losing time doing that. Now they're down to 7.5 seconds behind. But like I said, if Sainz gets clear, that's the one variable for me that could really make things interesting and see what pace he's got, because he was setting fastest laps at one point. So Carlos Sainz could be a bit of a cork in the bottle, and he could give us a bit of a headache in these final 10 laps. The only other drivers that really could be a headache to us, like I said, are the two stoppers, but I've not really seen much of them. Right, Sainz is 8.2. Let's get that a reference. Well, let's say 8 seconds behind. So I'm not using overtake here. I'm not using any of the battery. I'm just trying to save it for the Kemmel Straight. And if anything now, I'm not really attacking. I'm just in a rhythm, having a Sunday drive. I've got P3 in the bag.
Manage your tyres.
As long as we don't do anything silly, we should have the position. Sainz is matching us. So Sainz is quicker than Piastri. But Piastri's got a nice dose of DRS coming up this hill now. So Piastri could very well just give Sainz a bit of a headache here and avoid Sainz giving us a headache. Our pit rejoin is P15, by the way. But I think for a safety car, that'd be different. That'd be like P8, P9. But I still want to prepare for a late safety car and get a gap up as high as it can be. And I don't think Piastri's having a go at Sainz this time round. So I think Piastri not getting a look there. And that's allowing Sainz now to just have a bit more creative freedom around that area. But I tell you what, Sainz is not particularly gaining on us either. It's 8.4 now. So, and I think now we're at a stage where even if two stoppers do ambush these guys, we're still looking reasonably safe. In fact, I can't really see anyone within that close vicinity of them, so I think we are genuinely safe for P3 now. I think as long as, like I said, as long as we don't throw the car into the wall or make a silly error, we've got this podium in the bag. Bottas currently with the fastest lap. Here's a curious thing.
Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 17.7 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're 8th. And the time last lap, 1 minute 49.3.
Right, so Kobayashi's 8th. He's on old mediums, and I think he's the first now to have two stoppers ambushing him. So that's a good reference point for us, because now Kobayashi has got those two stoppers approaching him. And I feel like if we had a safety car, I'd come out in 7th. That would mean quite a bit of hard racing, but we have the advantage of tyres. Piastri and Sainz are at it again, and that's just going to build our gap further. Yeah, we're up to 9 seconds now. So Kobayashi is our reference point there, because there's a train of cars behind him. Also, his lap times are 49.3 last time round, so I want to see where we're comparing and what sort of pace in relation to that we're doing. This hasn't been our best lap, I'll be honest. We've had one or two minor moments. We've not got long to go now, and I'll be honest, we're not really under that much pressure now. Although Sainz and Piastri are starting to pick up the pace. But I think that might just be my tyres wearing down because they're a lap older. 49.4, so that lap we were a tenth slower than what our teammate is doing. I just want to see if he's lost anything.
Gap to your teammate behind, 17.9 seconds. They're on old mediums. They're 8th. Your last lap time, 1:49.7.
Right, so we're still 3/10 quicker than Kobayashi, and he's still in 8th. So he's keeping those slower cars back. Although now I feel like if we did get a safety car, I wouldn't really gain anything in... Oh, Sainz and Piastri getting very close again. I wouldn't really gain anything in pitting now. I think I'm quite happy. I'd want to get after the front two. But I don't think a late safety car is coming. I think it is just going to be a straight run now to the end of this Grand Prix. I'm surprised, though, that we haven't seen the two stoppers have more pace and have more ability to catch the battle for fourth. I really would have thought that by now we'd see a load of two stoppers getting very close and getting themselves in the thick of it. We've just not seen that here. It just hasn't happened, so that's my surprise of the race.
Okay, here's the gap that we're trailing the car ahead by. 9.1 seconds.
I'm quite happy with the pace we've had in the second half of the race, to be honest. It's been roundabouts. This is where I hoped we'd sort of be in Brazil. Verstappen at the moment simply untouchable. And this will be a second win in a row for Verstappen if he can hold on to it. Still 6 laps to go yet. Piastri and Sainz once again swapping places. And they're losing time doing it. It's a race that heated up in the middle and just kind of fizzled out towards the end. There were 10 to 12 laps of fun, but in the end, nothing more really happened. Like I said, I really thought the drivers doing 2 stops would really have caught up in the end. That just hasn't happened, and we've just been on our own in P3, just chilling, while Piastri and Sainz and co are all battling each other, and we've just got... It's like we've got the track to ourselves here. We've done a 48.7 that time, so we're going quite nicely here. We've got 5 laps to go now until the end of the Grand Prix. But I think Kobayashi's now lost 8, and the 2 stoppers are getting past him now, so I think we're starting to see them approaching Tsunoda. And they might have a little go at some of the battle for fourth by the end of the Grand Prix.
8.9 seconds.
But I think my pace has been strong enough to sort of keep them away and make sure and ensure that they won't be an issue to me. Sainz and Piastri are battling again. That's really not going to help them. If anything, the 2 stoppers are going to see that and think, ooh, fresh prey up ahead. But now they're 10 seconds behind me, Sainz and Piastri, so I can't really see them having that much of a say in this battle anymore. I think we're very much safe, pending any silly errors, of course. Or any issues with the car, that could still happen. I'd hope not, but it could still happen. Got 4 laps left to run of this Grand Prix now. Sainz and Piastri over 10 seconds behind. It's going to take a pretty major mistake for them to catch up. I'm just having a Sunday drive now. I've been cruising the last few laps, to be fair. I've not been pushing. I'm not attacking. There's no point. I'm just taking it easy. I'm just bringing it home. I'll tell you one thing I might do. Just testing something here. You know what? I've got such a safe space here. I'm going for it. Anyone who saw the Brazilian Grand Prix will know what I'm doing. I'm charging the battery for a reason. And they're not really gaining that much on me. As I do that, yeah, they're gaining on me, but they're about to lose that time. Sainz and Piastri just really having their own battle there.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
Here's the thing, I don't want to use the overtake button. I'll tell you why, because I'm about to use it. See what we can do here. Here we go. Gonna try a fastest lap attempt. If it doesn't work, then we'll leave it, but we'll give it one go on lap 42. Braking into the source. Doesn't really feel like a qualifying lap that I did it. It just kind of felt a bit like a granny gently nursing a trolley back into the trolley park. We're now going up the hill, up towards Ranion, now down the Kemmel Straight. Let's take this till it gets down to about 50. Now we're just going to chill, cruise along the straight.
Okay,
Hard
so
on the
gap
brakes.
to the car ahead, 10.3 seconds.
I know what the gap to the car ahead is, thank you. Just got to keep my foot in it there. It's a green first sector, so it's a PB. What can we do here? Just keep it close to the apex. Beautiful. Now clip that left for No Name. Oh, couldn't have done that any better. Down the hill. Towards Poumon. I'm just demanding grip that the tyres don't have. Just going to try and ease it through here with no mistakes. That's what we've done. It's 2 PBs so far. Right, drain this battery. Drain the entire thing. We've actually used all the deploy we can use, so we've got nothing left that we can use. Let's see what this lap time does. In fact, we've gone wide there. I don't think this is going to be a fastest lap, but it's going to be a PB. No, it's not. Okay, I don't think we've quite got the grip to pull that off. It was worth a go, but I think at best that would have been a 48-0. But hey, I thought it was worth a go. 2 laps to go here now. I'm just focusing on bringing this home now. We definitely did the right thing in taking some fuel out as well, because it looks like we're going to make it on fuel, so there's a bonus. Piastri and Sainz are swapping places again. Just going to watch that gap tumble. Those two have had some fun, haven't they? Right, so the next instalment of Equal Car Championship will be after the actual F1 season finishes. So we've had 2 instalments so far. The next one will not be until after the end of the F1 season. And then we're going to try and do one every week to lead you guys up into the new season. So We'll do one every week, and that should bring us to the new championship. That's the plan moving forward with that. Right, we're starting the final lap now. It's been a bit of a slow burner of a race. We had an incident with Lewis Hamilton at the beginning of it.
Final lap of the race.
And we slowly sort of picked cars off that were in front of us. Then we had a few laps of catching before we caught that next group of cars. We had a bit more racing action there before we pitted. But it was when we pitted that the action really kicked off, because there were a few cars who pitted on lap 15 that ended up two-stopping, that got caught up with the cars that were one-stopping and had much fresher tyres as a result. And there was just a lot of trains of cars that were going slower that we ended up battling. Like every lap there was another car we were battling, and it was a lot of fun in the middle. It was quite thrilling. But then the last 15 laps or so, it's just been us, you know. We've just been pretty much cruising it since then, looking after the tyres, and because of that, the two stoppers haven't caught up. In fact, I don't think they've caught the battle for fourth. But we've looked after our tyres in this phase and managed a strong pace. I think I could have gone maybe 2-3 a lap faster if I truly desired to try and catch Norris, but then I would have taken more life out of the tyres than I would have been happy with. So I don't feel like we would have caught up anyway. I think we'd have got to about 2 seconds behind him. Max Verstappen then is your winner here in Belgium. Lando Norris gets second. I'm happy, however, to cross the line in P3 and take a podium. I will happily accept that.
Yes, come on, we're on the podium. Good job this weekend. That's a great drive, thank you.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again, because it's victory for Max Verstappen.
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Tired after that one, but it's a win for Max Verstappen, comfortably dominating the race. Lando Norris finishes second, and I am happy to grab a podium for P3. Carlos Sainz gets fourth ahead of Oscar Piastri, so their long battle ends in Carlos getting fourth. Leclerc finishes sixth. Tsunoda gets seventh. It's some points for our teammate Kamui Kobayashi in P8. Nico Hulkenberg gets ninth, and Daniel Ricciardo completes the top 10. So what does that mean for the championship? It means that Max Verstappen extends the lead in the championship to 11 points from Lando Norris. Carlos Sainz is third, Leclerc is fourth, We've moved up to 5th with a strong result here and 15 points. Piastri is 6th, Russell and Hamilton 7th and 8th, Ricciardo and Alonso rounding out the top 10. Then Tsunoda, Perez, Kobayashi, Hulkenberg and Albon are your final point scorers. That was a good race from us. I needed a strong race after what was quite lackluster in Brazil. And in the Constructors, we're sitting in 4th. So, Ferrari and McLaren are equal, leading on 69 points. Nice. Right, guys. Well, that was the Equal Car Championship round from Spa. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll be honest, after that start, when we went into Lewis Hamilton, I was ready to give up. Like, I was ready to just be done. But we managed to pull it back and still pull a strong result out of that. So, I'll happily take it. Right, thank you for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, hit subscribe for more content from me. Until the next time, I've been Joe, TTFN, ta-ta for now, take care, and I'll see you all in the next upload. Enjoy the rest of your day.